SAT QAS test from April 2017, and we're going to be answering this question. It says, which statement best exemplifies the distinction made by correlation C in the figure? So basically what we got to do is we got to figure out what is correlation C measuring? What is the two distinct things that it's measuring? So let's look at it right here. This is correlation C. And so correlation C says it's measuring the correlation between individuals' predictions of how others perceive them and actual perception of those individuals by others. So it's a little bit hard to wrap your head around it. Let's see if we can figure it out. So this is basically the comparison between the way that you think others are going to view you versus the way that others actually view you, right? So it's really the language that makes it challenging. It's a pretty simple idea. It's just basically you may think that you're one way, you may think that others are going to describe you in one way, and others are going to actually think of you in a different way. So that's what we're going to look. Basically, someone thinks that they're going to be viewed in this way, but in reality, they're viewed another way. So A says, Sally believes she is outgoing, but thinks that others will describe her as reserved. So this would be the distinction between how you view yourself versus how you think others will view you, right? And that's actually a correlation that's better with, I think, A, right? How you view yourself versus how you think others will view you, which is not what we're looking for. We're looking for a different one. So B says Sally expects, right? She predicts that others will say she's outgoing, but many actually describe her as reserved. And this is the distinction we're looking for, right? The distinction between how you predict others are going to view you versus how others actually view you. So I think B is good. C says Sally has been told she is outgoing, but only by people with whom she is well acquainted. And this doesn't really match any of the correlations. This is basically just saying that she's been told she's outgoing by people who she's well acquainted with. Maybe it's making a distinction between well acquainted and new acquaintance, but it's not really describing correlation C at all, so we can get rid of that. D says Sally is outgoing with those who she is well acquainted, but reserved around new acquaintances. So this is a distinction between basically her behavior, which doesn't represent, the figure doesn't really represent how you act versus when you're with well-acquainted people, or people who you're well acquainted with, and people who are new acquaintances. It doesn't describe that, so I would get rid of D. So that only leaves answer choice B, which is our correct answer for question 20.